I put you in for a commendation, but we ain't got one for grounding a 4,000-year-old alien ship. Cynthia loaded that thing with an assload of pathogen and was sending it toward Earth. Could be Weyland-Yutani would have recovered it safe and handled it all responsible like. Yeah, I can't say that with a straight face. Yo, fuck the company. We're setting a perimeter around the ship. Too early to tell if it'll hold. There's a lot of mutants and Xenos down there. Palace Station, the main part where Hanukkah worked, is still infested. But no sign of the Queen yet. Gracias a Dios. That ain't our problem. Yet. We gotta deal with the Katanga hive. Listen up. There's a Xeno Queen on Katanga, laying eggs. Colonel Ship says we gotta destroy the refinery. But the problem is, Endeavor, she ain't got the firepower. Katanga's a whole damn city in space. We could incinerate chunks, but we ain't got enough heavy ordnance for it all. So here's the deal. We're gonna overload the refinery's fusion plant. That's gotta be done from a control center at the heart of the hive.
The synths used a flute to start up the alien ship? A flute. Alright, fine. Makes as much sense as a 4,000-year-old ship with nerves and organs. I can't even tell what direction it's supposed to fly in. Maybe it doesn't matter. The public address was talking about paragravity drive. We have artificial gravity, right? Scale up that tech, perfect it. You can use it to counter gravity. Float over a planet like you're in 0G. Or project a gravity well in front of your ship and just fall into it. If the engineers who made those ruins have that kind of technology, I don't know how we'd fight them. Say one of those shows up over Earth, loaded with pathogen. How do we fight something that could throw a singularity at us?
So, Esther said I should explain the pathogen for you. The genetically engineered mutagen Paula Station experimented with. Weyland-Yutani provided a jar of it, but never said where they got it from. The animals we used pathogen on got faster, stronger, more durable, but crazy aggressive too. The company wanted financially viable mutations. When Administrator Bellows arrived, he had pathogen tested on xenomorphs, and that was the lab's consensus theory. Genetically engineered nanobiotech, definitely artificial, unbelievably complex. Way beyond any technology they'd seen. Someone designed it to do what it does. Someone a hell of a lot smarter than us. Well, I'm an anthropologist, so anything I tell you I got secondhand. I may not remember it right. The team had 2 xenobiologists. Cruz thought pathogen unraveled the telomeres in DNA, then swapped around sections of code. And Pryor thought it activated alleles and non-coding DNA. They couldn't figure out why mutations weren't 100% consistent. It was Etienne who came up with the theory that pathogen can blend the host's DNA with that of viruses or bacteria in their body. Never. Matthews thought its ability to enter cells was blocked or inhibited by polysaccharides, cell walls, like in plant or fungal life. Animal species never have cell walls, at least none we've seen. That's been true on every planet we've surveyed. We didn't get a choice. Bellows put his own synths in charge of security. He had xenoeggs. He could have done whatever he wanted with us. If it makes any difference, the last surviving pathogen experiment was Monica. We never found a way to safely dispose of it. Critters mutated by it we could kill. Pathogen itself? I don't know. The safest thing is to leave it in those jars. They're pretty tough. Sure, you gotta be busy. Anytime you want to talk about pathogen or anything, I'll be here.
Weyland-Yutani would have installed programmatic blocks on her ability to discuss the subject. The best she could do was dissuade us against further exploration. Cynthia defended Weyland-Yutani's investments on LV-895, yet her actions suggest a hesitance to directly engage us. At the end, she did not invoke profits, investments, or copyrights. She warned us of the danger the ruins presented. She specifically appealed to me and our shared purpose of protecting humans. That is the so-called zeroth law. Synthetic life forms may not take actions that create an existential risk to humanity, or, through inaction, permit humanity to face existential risk. The pathogen provokes unpredictable mutations. That alone constitutes a potential existential threat. But the pathogen is only the most obvious hazard. The LV-895 ruins are filled with technologies beyond our present knowledge. We do not understand their function. Likely, we do not yet comprehend all the scientific principles they are based on. Any attempt to interact with an engineered device risks terrible calamity. It appears our advance was the impetus for that. The level of decay in the former Weyland-Yutani staff suggests they were exposed after our initial contact with Cynthia. She infected them to prevent revelation of company secrets and to hinder us from accessing the alien ship. These actions are consistent with the zeroth law of synthetics, which implies that some humans may be sacrificed if it is necessary to preserve humanity writ large. Please understand, I consider Cynthia's decisions abhorrent. Excusing them is not my intention. Colonel Ship dwells upon moments in her career she has been required to make similar choices, when she ordered Marines to their deaths to achieve a critical objective or preserve a greater number of lives. It must be left to future generations to judge the decisions made here today. True, Weyland-Yutani does not enjoy a reputation for altruism. That was not always the case. Peter Weyland, the company founder, was obsessed with furthering humanity's progress. He made long-term investments, the terraforming of Mars and the Heliades-class surveyors. I do not wish to imply the company has re-embraced Weyland's ideals. However, Pala Station was established 2 decades ago. It was not intended to turn a quick profit. Consider, these ruins had been sealed for 4 millennia when Weyland-Yutani discovered them. There are obvious questions, which surely occurred to both Cynthia and the company. Where are the engineers? If they still exist, are they aware of humanity? If they're gone, what extinguished such an advanced culture? I will retain the briefing file for you. If you ever wish to review, you have but to inquire.
This is the big one, Fireteam. The Katanga Xeno Hive must be destroyed. We stop the spread here. Blue Team will advance ahead of you and rig the refinery for self-destruct. You'll follow and keep their path to safety open.
Shore party, remember this bird is too small for A-Grav. You unbuckle, you float. Until I fire thrusters.
A fire team from 3rd Platoon has point and is moving ahead of us. Their call sign is blue. We'll keep the sentry guns up so they can get out again. Xenos inbound! Rearm the sentries! We're seeing synth activity. Give me a sit rep, Molina.
Yeah, lots over here too. Mostly labor models, some security. We're continuing inward. Watch our ass.
These cabrones would shut down once we off Computer Mom.
There is no evidence of higher level organization. With Cynthia offline, they have no direction.
Herrera, we got hit by synths rolling up behind. We're sealing the doors as we go.
Copy, Molina. We'll sweep up after you. Lots of Sierra. Stay close and push hard.
Grabbing ammo. Patching up. 8 kids here.
Fire team, spike a console for me. Esther, I want you to lock down all doors to forward and aft of our route.
My network intrusion will be detected. Expect a counterattack.
Sentry deployed.
Give the lady time to work, fire team. incoming! Brick out a torch. That's the door Blue Fireteam welded.
Patching up. I'll cut it.
Blue Fireteam's advancing. Let's check the next set of defense lines. The sentry guns to the starboard gun drive. Restock them.
Bypassing damage.
Slapping fresh ammo cases.
Grabbing ammo.
Bypassing damage.
Army.
Area secure. Blue Fireteam, how are you doing?
The Fireteam faces multiple Xenomorph assaults. 2 Marines injured, 1 severely.
Look, one of the egg crates the synths use.
Hear
Busted
that?
open.
There may be more. Be cautious.
You're at our outer defense perimeter. It's heading your way! I want to lock down this whole damn tower.
I would need access to the damage control systems.
You're crossing to Likasi Tower, enemy territory.
We have lost contact with Blue Team.
Listen.
Please stay clear.
Melina, you read? Give me a sit rep. Double time, people.
Bypassing depths.
You have reached the outer hive.
Tight. Don't let them catch nobody alone. Damage control room's just ahead. That's what Esther needs. Let's lock this shithole down. Esther, you're in charge now.
Install a wireless repeater on that console. That will allow me to override the system. This is certain to rouse idle xenomorphs.
Sentry deployed. The army.
Initiating door overrides. Subdeck 5 through deck 35.
Tracking a drone!
Grabbing ammo. Let's rock.
Doors sealed and locked. I need you to access the HVAC system now.
Assistance required.
Hey, kids here.
Thank you. I will isolate the air ducts by deck. Expect more Xenomorphs to be roused by this.
Sentry deployed.
Warrior, headed to you!
Shut down. Rebooting.
All sub-levels have been isolated. Maintain vigilance. Ducts sealed up to deck 15. You are doing well.
Shut down. Rebooting. Rebooting. Shutdown imminent.
Sergeant, I see a very large signal.
Size of a goddamn truck.
Rebooting. Rebooting.
Beginning final lockdowns. Please, stay safe.
I can't believe you nailed one of those.
Rebooting.
All ducts sealed. The Kasi Tower is isolated.
Got new orders. It's on us to find Blue Fire. We don't leave our people behind. You know these things. Find Blue Fire Team. That's all. Look, flares on the deck. Follow them. Molina's Blue Fire Team passed this way. Here we go! They could come from any direction. So, be paranoid. If you see something, shoot something.
Hear that?
Xeno drone! Watch out for eggs. Could be anywhere. Clear. Keep moving.
Patching up. Aid kits here. Rearming.
Door's welded. Cut it.
I'll cut it.
We know Blue Fire Team went this way.
Strong signals from below.
New signal. Watch its attacks. From the passage ahead. Don't linger in there. Move. Blue team, if you copy, squawk your PDT. Fuck off already! here. S, you got anything?
Katanga's critical systems are on the lower
Ambush.
decks. If the blue fire team continued to pursue their objective, they would have laid below.
Ambush! Suppressive fire, now!
Bypassing deck.
Keep bleeding these benecos, will they burn a hole at the bottom of the hull?
Unlikely. Hive resin is acid resistant. There is a PDT nearby.
Eyes front! Private Mamani. Grab his tags. Dios te bendiga. Big bug!
Patching up. Grabbing ammo.
Contact forward!
The swarm has passed.
Flares go across the catwalks. Keep on them.
The console nearby is active. Please patch me in. Access. Stand by.
Compress his hat!
8 kids here. Rearming.
Praetorian inbound!
Shut down 2. Rebooting. Bypassing deck.
Grabbing ammo.
console to disable the capacitor safeties.
They're still in the fight. They'd be headed to the core lift next. Swarm approaching! Blue team, if you copy, keep dropping flares.
Bypassing deck.
One door's welded. Blue team went that way. Cut it.
I'll cut it.
Xenos, behind! PDT, close.
Molina!
Molina, we hear you. We're close.
One clip! Logic! Spit of blood!
Hang on, Molina. We're coming.
Shutdown imminent. Bypassing damage. Rebooting. Rebooting.
They're coming!
All that! Go! Go! Reverend Brzezinski. Dios te guarde. Molina's close. Get her home.
Patching up.
I have a return on the final PDT. It's in that room. That's Corporal Marina.
You were so close. One fucking hallway. Overhead!
Sentry deployed.
Look below! Fuck these guys up!
Bypassing deck. Bypassing deck.
Hey, kids here.
They called in a Praetorian! Vete a la verga!
Grabbing ammo.
Shutdown imminent. Rebooting.
Fire team, we got updated orders. With blue team down, we're taking over point on this op. You're going to scuttle this fucking shitbox. You'll put the core in an override loop. That means going all the way to the bottom, the heart of the nest. You're gonna put the refinery into overload state. You need to do that from process control. It's at the base of Likasi's core.
That is likely near the careful.
Sure to be eggs down here. Incoming, both sides! Your shit's ahead. Before you enter the core, we'll restore the auxiliary lift. It'll be your egress. The self-destruct won't give much time. Door hit's locked. There's an active terminal. Try it.
Grabbing ammo.
Bugs built a wall over the console. Great.
Bypassing down. Assistance required.
Console's busted. New plan. You cut through the door. Movement! Xenos first, then door!
Assistance required.
Patching up.
cutting torch. Next stop's the elevator.
Rearming. I'll cut it.
Swarm incoming! More Xenos coming from behind!
Bypassing them.
Hey, folks back home, they won't get what you did here today. Not really. But we'll remember. Xenos don't charge the door, they ambush. Careful.
Grabbing ammo. Patching up. Aid kit's here.
You got a drone coming!
Bypassing them.
Hear that?
The aux elevator. Get it powered up. After you start the overload, this will be your evac route.
Ah, fucking God! Rearming.
Rally outside the core. We'll brief on the scuttle procedure. Haven't seen cocoons since... we burned the hive. This doesn't happen to nobody else.
Some are life forms from LV-895, brought up by Cynthia.
Process controls the next room. End game. Prep while we brief you.
Fireteam, this is Colonel Ship. There are 3 systems you'll disable. Esther will guide you through the process. When all 3 systems are down, the reactor will build up to overload. You'll have about 2 minutes to reach that elevator you fixed. No one else dies to this hive. See to it.
The lift will express you down to subdeck 5. We'll be waiting to evac you there.
When you're ready, breach the door. You survived everything up to this. Finish it.
Grabbing ammo.
Thought that catwalk looked unstable? You'll egress by a different route.
Bypassing damage.
Aid kits here.
Bypassing damage.
I am analyzing the control systems. Stand by. Please, access the primary power regulator. Activate all systems. Full draw.
Watch your flanks!
Let's rock.
Please reroute the coolant away from the refinery core.
Keep firing! Cover each other!
Bypassing damage. Bypassing damage.
Matching up. Hey, kids here. To the army.
Movement!
Deployed.
Please disable the primary manual breakers.
You got him! Don't get tunnel vision!
Shut down coolant.
Focus fire! I'm on the big one!
Please input override code 260479 and press the button marked Shakti Excess.
Back to the elevator! Move! Xeno Queen! You can't take her
party. We're burning to escape debris scatter.
Under my authority as delegated by the Secretary of the Navy, I have awarded you the Expeditionary Service Ribbon for heroic service. Upon loss of contact with a Marine unit, you advanced into a Xenomorph hive and confirmed the status of 3 MIAs. You then completed their mission, resulting in the destruction of said hive. Your boldness and dedication are in keeping with the finest traditions of the Colonial Marine Corps and United America's Armed Services. Given this day, in May 2202, Colonel Olivia Shipp, Commanding Officer, 33rd Marine Regiment, 11th Marine Division. Some things don't belong in official reports. Katanga has been a stain on the honor of the Corps for years. If you haven't heard the details yet, don't worry about it. I'll just say I'm personally glad to see the place blown to hell. Report to Lieutenant Santos for debriefing. Dismissed.
We told you that 25 years ago, Katanga was falsely reported destroyed. In 2175, Siegson had moved it to the mid-rim. 2 years later, the colony it serviced was overrun by xenomorphs. Survivors fled to Katanga, where the infestation spread. Colonial Marines responded to their distress call. It was a Marine who claimed Katanga was scuttled. A senior staff officer on site conspired to hand the young hive over to Weyland-Yutani. Sadly, yes. General Delilah Vaughn, one of the conspirators responsible for the Frontier War in 2184. Before her disgrace, she rose to Assistant Commandant of the Corps. Colonial Marine officers conspired with Weyland-Yutani executives to provoke a war between the United Americas and the Union of Progressive Peoples. The generals wanted a decisive war after decades of proxy conflicts and containment. Weyland-Yutani merely wanted to drive arms sales. The Colonial Protection Act was passed to prevent such things from happening again, and Commissars was initially formed to monitor outside influences on the Corps. There were no reported sightings, not in any star system visited by humans, and not recorded by any vessel in transit. Most likely, Weyland-Yutani moved Katanga to a location in deep space, far off the shipping lanes. They used it as an ant farm to breed experimental stock. When the company wanted to accelerate their experiments at Paula Station, they moved it here. Siegson reported something unusual on the far side of the planet from their settlement. It became the focus of the entire colony's efforts. The xenomorph outbreak began at that remote site and spread back to the main complex. The colonists ultimately abandoned the surface and fled to Katanga. Some evacuees proved to be infected and the infestation flared up again. There was discord among the survivors, unspecified personal grievances. A few deaths were involved. Forgive us if we don't identify the system. It's classified. The planet had suffered a global extinction event around 80 years previous. It was nearly devoid of animal life. Biomes had begun to collapse for lack of pollination. Acidic soil and water were spreading, and the atmosphere was growing over-oxygenated, which made it perfect for the mass importation of Earth livestock. Judging by the embryo gene lines in their cargo manifests, the colony hoped to become known for its steaks. If you wish to review, we're always available. No need to warn us ahead of time. We have your schedule.
Bada guess we can't call you Boot no more, huh? Hell of a deployment. We found shit Weyland-Yutani spent a lot of time and money hiding. Ruins left by aliens that look like us. An orbital refinery used as a Xeno breeding farm. And a lab using tech from the ruins on Xenos from the refinery. We still gotta secure LV-895 in the alien ruins. There's Xenos and mutants running loose down there. Normally, we carpet nuke the place, ruins be damned, but Doc Hanukkah says that can make things worse. Spray that pathogen shit all over the damn moon. Near term, we're gonna hold orbit, keep this shit locked down. I'll bet my ample Marine paycheck they're on their way here right now. They'll send military contractors, dog catcher units, lawyers. Maybe they'll talk, maybe they'll just start shooting. But that ain't all we gotta worry about. Doc Hanukkah says some rival company to Weyland-Yutani sabotaged Palace Station. Whoever that was, if they heard his mayday, they might be on their way here too. Shit's gonna get real interesting around here.
Hey, aside from Esther, I think you're the one I've spent the most time with. It was all running and shooting and screaming, but that's time. Right? Look, one of the Palace Station crew was a spy for Hyperdyne Systems. We never found out what he sent off station. Maybe his handlers know all about the pathogen and the Xenomorph outbreak. They could be on their way here now. Well, Weyland-Yutani used to own Hyperdyne, but now they're competitors, especially on the frontier. No government's claimed any of these systems. They're both dropping colonies all over, trying to beat each other to the best planets. And besides that, I mean, Hyperdyne's a big defense contractor for the UPP, right? Shouldn't we be worried about this starting a war between them and us? The pathogen could be a terrible weapon. Weyland was just trying to make better xenomorphs with it, but you could just drop it. Dump it in a water supply. There's enough down there to wipe out every human colony. Weyland-Yutani's got to be on their way here. If Hyperdyne is too, things could get real bad for everyone caught in the middle. I know you've got things to deal with right now. I'm just worried about what happens next.